Hey, Shalom. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutation, and blessings to the elect who firmly believe in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now, the title of this lesson is going to be The Great and Terrible Day of the Lord. The Great and Terrible Day of the Lord. I'm going to start at the book of Joel, the second chapter, and start at verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. You know, that signifies its ownership. You know, that's possessive. You know, the Lord's not dealing with any other nation, right? Verse 28, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And that's what's happening now. You have people having visions and night dreams of the end of the world. You know, brothers be having visions of, Yahweh Shai coming back, complete anarchy in the streets. Brothers having spiritual powers. These things are happening, because it's a shadow of things to come. Thus saith the Lord, written in the scriptures. Verse 29, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood. Those are your omens, your blood moons, your eclipses, things of that nature. And we just recently had a solar eclipse, a lunar eclipse. It says, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord to come. And this is how we know that the Lord is on his way, because of these scenarios happening, these signs and these visions that are happening. It says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahweh shall be delivered, for in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. Right? And in the remnant who the Lord shall call. What do we ought to look for in these last days? Matthew 24:3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, Lord. You see, he came privately, so only those who have that relationship with the Lord is going to know and understand the times that they're living in. What to look out for during the times in which they're living in to indicate that he's on his way back. It says, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And the world means eon, what's going to be the end of this age, this particular rulership, right? It says, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And we see many cases of that, from these churches, to these false prophets, these false Israelites, people coming up against us. The only ones who got it right is Great Millstone and those who follow the doctrine of Great Millstone. That's it. Right? It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And we've been hearing about wars and rumors of wars for years when it comes to this Third World War. America's at odds with Russia, China, Iran. They got peace treaties that's going to be broken. North Korea, South Korea. There's all kind of issues going on in the world today. You got proxy wars. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And we've been experiencing these things for years. We've been experiencing these tragedies for years. And these are all signs and indication of the Heavenly Father coming back. But people still think that they got time. People still think that the Lord is going to come back in their lifetime. The Lord is shortening the days. The Lord is shortening the days, man, for the elect's sake. Matthew 24:22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. That's why it feels like that the days are going fast. Here it is. It's already July in 2024. You know, it feels like the new year came in, about a month ago, 2 months ago. But the Lord is speeding up these times, man. You know, so he can finally give us the world, and we can appreciate the world as is intended for us. You know what I mean? Israelites ruling, Edomites and the other nations as slaves, straight up. That's just what the Heavenly Father got planned. That's in the plans of the Heavenly Father. You know, great judgments coming to this devil, you know, on that great and terrible day. Great judgment. And we're proclaiming it. Moreover, the Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 1, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. So now you got to ask yourself, who's Mount Seir? Now you got to ask yourself who Mount Seir is. Mount Seir is where the Edomites dwell. You know, the mountains. Say unto it, Thus saith the Lord, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And who's the hand of the Heavenly Father? Yahweh Shai, the right hand of your Heavenly Father. Not only that, the Lord's going to use us as his battle axe and weapons of war. You know, so the Lord's going to use his elect to get busy and destroy these Edomites on that great and terrible day. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. That's right, and that happened during hardcore bondage slavery. You know, that happened, you know, in the 60s, you know, when racism was at an all-time high, even a little bit prior to the 60s. You know, it's happening today with a lot of these jakes getting killed off in these streets by these police officers. Not to mention, the police officers are getting paid, and the city is getting paid off of the death and destruction of the Israelites, called police brutality bonds. You know what I mean? So they're getting rich off of our pain. There's GoFundMes in which they're getting rich, you know, for slaying the Israelite. You know, here it is, they pump out these pestilence like C-19 for an example, and they, you know, market it towards so-called Negroes and Latinos when you watch their commercials. So this is all, you know, you get the Tuskegee experiment, you know, syphilis, you know, giving out people syphilis, crack in the 80s, heroin, you know. So there was a tumult, you know, to get rid of the Israelites. You know, they wanted to cut us off from being a nation, as the scriptures say. You know, so for all of that wickedness, for all of that hatred, the Heavenly Father is going to bring judgment upon you devils. And we can't wait to see it. Verse 6, Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare unto thee blood, and blood shall pursue thee. This is why this devil's going into his third world war. That's going to be the start of it. Yahweh Shai is going to finish it. It says, Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it from him that passeth out, and him that returneth. That's right. So there's going to be no entry, no exit for you devils, man. You know, that's what you got to look forward to. You know, that's what these devils have got to look forward to. Ezekiel chapter 38. I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, Thus saith the Lord, power. It shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. You know, and that's going to be the Russians. You know, the Lord's going to put an evil thought in a Russian's mind to invade America. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. What's that land? America. See, America's coded in the Bible. You know, America is the land of unwalled villages. You know, you can easily infiltrate America. There's no barriers. You know what I'm saying? It says, I will go to them that are a clear example of that is the movie Red Dawn. In the movie Red Dawn, they parachuted their way into America. Just flew on in. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing could happen, in a form of domestic terrorism, today, you know, and blame it on America's own citizens. Now, lock the cities down. So, let's microchip everybody, which is the mark of the beast, so we can identify who's who and what's what. That's their plan. It says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. And when you look at the average American, they're comfortable, man. They're comfortable as long as they have their groceries, as long as they feel like they got their family. They feel like they're in good case. They feel like they're comfortable. Well, the Lord's about to make a lot of people uncomfortable. And he started in the pandemic to where a lot of people were losing their jobs and things of that nature. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, it's become the habitation of devils. That's talking about America. And the hold of every foul spirit. Now this is the product of that great and terrible day. And the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So everybody got rich off of America. Everybody got rich off of America, man. I just saw something that was it the president of Nigeria, or a spokeswoman of Nigeria? They mentioned don't follow the ways of the American celebrities to the way they act and to the way they dress, because it's poison, in so many words. That's what you call the wine of America. It's culture, American culture. American culture is very influential, when you see a lot of these nations taking hold of how Americans act. That's what it means where it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, meaning they take hold of America's philosophies, right? It says, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. That's right. Because first and foremost, you got to come out of this place mentally and spiritually, Micah 2:10, and ultimately the Heavenly Father is going to beam his elect out of here so we don't become partakers of the plagues, which are those missiles that are going to detonate on America, 200 million of them to be exact. It says, For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. That's right. The Lord, there's a term, I had it up to here with you. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the wickedness and the evils of this devil, the Lord had it up to the heavens with him. That's how much sins they have committed. Some things we know, some things we don't know. All the sacrifices and the sorceries in which they committed. You know what I'm saying? All the splicing of the DNA, mixing mingling seeds, creating hybrids, creating medicine, all kinds of madness. The Lord had it up to the heavens with this devil. So it says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she had filled to her double. That's right. So it's called payback. You know what I'm saying? It's called justice. It's called righteous indignation. This is what the Heavenly Father got coming to these Edomites. That's why they try to run from that name being called Esau. And 2/3 who want to uphold this devil as if they got a chance at salvation, to hell with you too. The Lord's going to destroy your wicked ass too. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. You know what I'm saying? How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. America thinks that it's never going to be destroyed. George Bush said, we're going to win. in case of an alien invasion, which we know it to be the angels, right? It says, therefore shall her place come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Oof, those are the missiles. Those missiles is coming, man. Those missiles is coming to cause all kinds of havoc, all kind of distress, all kind of anguish, all kind of pain, all kind of fear. Those missiles are designed to cause damage, man. Damage. Right? And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her, a lament for her, when they see the smoke of her burning. That's right. Because now their money's gone. The cash cow is gone. It's over with. Now it's time for us to start living deliciously. You know what I'm saying? And comfortably. You know, and immensely. And abundantly. You know, the elect, that is. Israelites. It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall sweep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and fine linen, and purple and silk and scarlet, and all thine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. This is what America all had ownership of. All of these commodities, all of these products, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and good are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. You got to strip, hey man, before you destroy a place physically, you got to destroy their resources, man. You got to starve them out. That's how you really take hold of a nation. You know what I'm saying? Take away their resources, take away the finances, make them suffer. Then you obliterate them. That's what the Lord is doing. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? So, you know, that's the downfall and destruction of America, Babylon the Great. But, you know, there's going to be a lot of turmoil that's going to happen even right before that great and terrible day. You know, so it's best that we keep our head on the swivel, stay diligent, stay prayed up, you know, stay faithful in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that we may avoid these things, man, and may the Lord have his mercy upon us. You know, so with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutation, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.